I went to the United Nations as ambassador under President Jimmy Carter. And before that, we'd had several wars and a number of Americans killed in situations where maybe going to the UN would have saved lives. During the time we were there, we changed the whole scene in Southern Africa. Uh, President Carter negotiated peace between Israel and Egypt, which lasted for 35 years. We negotiated an end to a treaty with Panama that avoided conflict in Central America. We had the first non-proliferation treaty with the Russians. We had a invasion of Lebanon in Israel, and it took us about 2 weeks, but we negotiated a withdrawal and UN peacekeeping troops. No Americans got killed. Later on, well, unfortunately, it was handled by the Marines, and we lost 300 young men that we didn't lose when we went through the UN. So the UN saves lives, saves American lives, saves American dollars, because it's a dangerous world and we don't need to try to make everything right by ourselves. I think the UN Foundation is the only arm that can talk to the people of the world about the United Nations from a level playing field, and we tell it like it is. If things are not going right, we say it. If things are going right, we say that. But it's because we believe in the United Nations. If we did not have the United Nations, the world would be a far more dangerous place. I can summarize by saying that during the time that I was there with President Carter, we didn't lose a single American life, and we didn't kill anybody to preserve and protect America's security. I think that's a pretty valuable resource. Now the problems can't be handled alone. Climate change. The United States can't do that alone. It's got to involve China, Brazil, India, all of the African continent. We're one planet. There are still nuclear weapons on alert. And through Ted Turner's Better World Foundation, we're the only ones negotiating or discussing keeping this issue alive, with Senator Sam Nunn taking the lead with Ted Turner. And I should say that Ted Turner's gift to the United Nations through the United Nations Foundation is probably one of the most valuable American contributions ever made. And only God knows the extent and the reach of helping to end polio, preventing measles, nothing but nets for malaria, and helping the American people to realize that this is one of the best investments we make for the government. Now, why do we need to do that? Because it's all that the Secretary of State and the United Nations ambassador can do to keep up with all of the confusion of the world. But the American people want to know, and the American people want somebody they can trust who understands what's going on and who can make it plain. Tim Worth and Kathy Calvin Ted Turner and our staff do a wonderful job of that.